Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat. We have just seen a brilliant display from Lyon to fire themselves through to the Champions League semi-finals, and it is now just time to decide their opponents. Will it be Arsenal or will it be Real Madrid? After a brilliant performance last week, Real Madrid come to the Emirates with a 2-goal advantage, but Arsenal, with that home support, will look to turn around that 2-goal deficit. We are in for a brilliant tie between Arsenal, who need to turn it around, and Real Madrid, who look to hold on after a brilliant result last week, after a brilliant result in the El Clasico on Sunday. Can they make more Real Madrid history to put themselves into the Champions League last four? They've put themselves in a really good position, and now all they need to do is hold firm and to deny Arsenal. They can afford to lose tonight, Real Madrid. They just need to make sure they lose by less than 2 goals. Everyone, welcome to the stream. We've got a brilliant game coming our way, so make sure to tune in. Make sure to get your thoughts down in the live chat, and let's have a look at the lineups for tonight's game. We will start with the home side, Arsenal. They have made changes from last week's disappointing defeat, really, away in Madrid. Daphne Van Domselaar is back in net. She is back from that concussion and back in between the sticks. It is in a back four of Fox, Williamson, Catley and Katie McCabe. The pivot then for Arsenal is Kim Little and Mariona Caldente, dropping into that more midfield role once again. We've seen her do it time and time again this season, and we've seen her really shine at times in certain games when she's played deeper. Across the three then, it looks to be Caitlin Ford on the left-hand side, Frida Marnham in the 10, and Chloe Kelly on the right-hand side. And then leading the line is Alessia Russo. Finally, Alessia Russo is back up front and in her favoured position, and she's not shoehorned in attacking midfield or put out on the left wing. That is key for Arsenal tonight. It is a really strong 11. I think Renee Sagers has got this starting 11 spot on and put themselves in a really good position to get a big victory, because that's what they need tonight. They can't just win, they need to win big to get themselves through. Let's have a look at that Real Madrid side now. There are a few changes from the side that beat Barcelona 3-1 on Sunday. Misa Rodriguez is still in goal. She was absolutely brilliant, not only in the first leg but also in the El Clasico, and again Real Madrid need her to have another solid performance tonight. Across the back four, Olga Carmona comes back in. Centre-half partnership stays the same with Lacroix and Mendes, and then Garcia comes in at fullback. The midfield three does see a change from the first leg as Menely Leopolds is out injured, so the midfield three will consist of Toletti, Angeldal and Caroline Weir, and then it is a front three of Athenia on the left-hand side, Linda Caicedo on the right-hand side, and Signa Bruna leading the line for Real Madrid. It is a very good side that packs a punch on the counter, has proven to be defensively solid, and once again tonight, it will be exactly the same game plan for Madrid. Welcome everyone who is tuning in. Brilliant to see you all here for this brilliant Champions League tie. And when I look at all the ties we're going to see over the next 2 days, I think this one is going to deliver us the most action. Loyal Lion says Arsenal, clearly rooting for the Gunners tonight. Yankee says Real Madrid are the true underdogs of this year. Madrid keeps getting underestimated. Couldn't agree more. I think that they clearly have. I think they caught a lot of people off guard last week by beating Arsenal in the first leg, and they've had quietly had a really strong Liga F campaign. And because they beat Barcelona for the first time in their history on Sunday, it now means that they're only 4 points off top in the Liga F. So Real Madrid quietly having a really underrated season. And I think that if they carry on like this, there's going to be a lot of people who are raving about them come the end of the season. Phil East, welcome back, says that midfield terrifies me. Yeah, it is an incredibly strong midfield for Real Madrid. I think it's really well balanced. We saw how in the first leg, how Toletti was superb defensively. You then got Angeldal in there who gives you that legs, gives you that dictatorship. Well, not dictatorship. She likes to dictate the tempo of the game. That's the better way to put it. And then you've got Caroline Weir in there tonight, who will be that further forward attacking midfielder, getting that ball from, picking it up off her fellow midfielders and getting it into that front line to try and cause Arsenal problems on the break. Dan Vassasoro, welcome to the stream, says Lyon are so good, Diani. Yeah, Lyon were absolutely brilliant. They were slow to get started in the second half, But in the first half, in the second half, they were really quick to get started, scored 30 seconds in. But yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with, and whoever gets through, whether it is Arsenal, whether it is Real Madrid, they have got one hell of a task on their hands to try and beat that Lyon side. But neither of those clubs will be thinking about that right now. Both these sides tonight will have all eyes on the next 90 minutes and hope that their side will be the ones to get through to the final four. Philly says, my confidence just took a huge hit. It's essentially 3 number 10s. Yeah, it is a really, really strong Real Madrid side, and I think a lot of people do forget that sometimes. Martin says Lyon are criminally underrated. I don't think Lyon are underrated. I think they're absolutely brilliant, but I think that everyone knows that they're brilliant. So I wouldn't say they're underrated, but yeah, they are a ridiculous football team that just have talent across the board. Lucky says Arsenal got this 3-0. We'll get into predictions shortly because we are closing in on kickoff. Phil says I think we really need Vouty. It is an interesting one going for Little and Caldente tonight. I think that, with, as you say, no Cooney Cross, no Lea Vouty is an interesting decision by Rene Slagers. But I think Kim Little did quite well in the first leg. She's probably one of Arsenal's best players, and we know how well Caldente has done in that deeper role this season at progressing the ball. So if she can do that again tonight for Arsenal, then they'll have a really good chance of breaking down this Real Madrid backline, because Real Madrid, they're going to sit deep, they're going to try and absorb pressure, and they're going to make it as difficult as possible for Arsenal to find the back of the net tonight. Real Madrid's goal is to not concede. Arsenal's goal is to score as many as possible and send themselves through to the semi-finals. We are now approaching kickoff, so we are going to get into predictions. Aveline Bell, welcome to the stream, says, why is no one talking about how they just beat Barcelona and somehow we have to win 3-0? Yeah, exactly. I think that a lot of people are still expecting Arsenal to turn up and roll Real Madrid over, but they've proven across the last week that they are no slouches, that they can compete with the best sides in the world. They beat Arsenal at home, and they convincingly beat Barcelona 3-1 at the weekend. So they're a top team, Real Madrid, and they are going to take some beating tonight. For Arsenal to score 3 goals, I think it would take a lot. I think the best bet for the Gunners is to win by 2 goals and take it to extra time. But we will see. It is going to take a lot from Arsenal, but it is a very, very strong attendance in the Emirates. It is a really strong Arsenal side, and they will look to give it absolutely everything and try and turn this tie around. Let's get into predictions then. So many of you tuning in right now, so make sure to get involved in the live chat and get your prediction down. I am going to say, I think it's going to go to extra time. I don't know who's going to win it. I'll go 3-1 Arsenal. I think they will win the game in normal time. They'll win by 3-1. They'll send it to extra time, and then it will be I'll go a Real Madrid goal to win it in extra time. I think it'll be a really, really close game. I think Arsenal will give it absolutely everything, but just at the end, on the counter, I think towards the end of extra time, Real Madrid will just nick it. So I will go 3-2 on the night, which means Real Madrid will go through 4-3 on aggregate. I mean, that would be a cracking game if that comes true. I hope it does come true, because we'll be in for a brilliant night if it does. But yeah, get your predictions in the live chat. Already got a couple coming in now. Eric Hartman, welcome to the stream, says Arsenal 2-0, which would see that game go to extra time. Alicia, welcome to the stream as well, says Arsenal 2-1. So again, an Arsenal win, but wouldn't be enough to see the Gunners get through to the semi-finals. I think that's a good. I think that's a pretty solid prediction. I can see Arsenal still winning the game, even if they don't go through. Aveline Bell says 3-1 Arsenal, Pens and Real Madrid win. Fair enough. That, I mean, again, would be an absolutely cracking game. I think there's a really good chance tonight that we do go beyond the 90. I can definitely see this game going to extra time, going to penalties, because I think Arsenal are the better side on their day, and if Arsenal play well enough tonight, they can win this game. But I just don't see them winning by more than 2 goals. Yeah, even if they do win, I don't think Real Madrid won't turn up and lose 3 or 4-0. That's just not going to happen, because they've shown that the quality they've got is just way too strong. They will not allow themselves to be battered. And I think that Arsenal are really going to struggle to score tonight, which is why I don't see them winning in normal time. If they are to win it tonight, they will have to take it to extra time and hope for the best. But even if Arsenal do go for it tonight, they've got to worry about that counter-attack. Linda Caicedo, Athenia are so dangerous when Real Madrid get the balls out wide, when they get the ball on the break. I mean, Linda Caicedo proved it in that first leg, in that first half, just on the break. All it was one long ball forward. Caicedo bursts in behind and scores, and that put Real Madrid 1-0 up. And that's what Real Madrid do, is that they can be out of a game. They did it against Barcelona. They beat them 3-1 because they scored, 2 of their goals came on the break, came against the run of play at the end. Caroline Weir double. And Arsenal, there's a lot of work to do tonight, but their fans believe that they can put it back. Phillies is going for a big Arsenal win of 5-1. Adek Pay, what the stream says Arsenal 3-0. But we are underway at the Emirates. I got caught out a bit there by the kickoff, but we are underway. Arsenal with a lot of work to do, but they fully believe that they can put it back. Real Madrid, it will be hold firm and deny. And hopefully, in 90 minutes' time, they will see themselves through to the semi-finals. The winner to play Lyon. A big ask for whoever gets through, but as I said earlier, right now neither side is focused on their opponents. It's all about whether they can get the job done tonight. Lucky says Madrid will park the bus. Yeah, and Aveline Bell echoing a similar message of Real Madrid will just go full defensive if they go a goal down. Yeah, I think Real Madrid will go defensive from the start. I think that they'll park the bus and absorb pressure and just try and keep Arsenal out. Arsenal coming forward early doors. Ball into the box from Caldente. Kelly wins it. Marnham will keep it alive. Marnham back out wide to McKay. Bit over hit, and that will go out for a Real Madrid throw. Young Keys thinks Arsenal are going to win. Fair enough, but yeah, as you say, also adding there, it's hard to call. Yeah, really hard to call, because you've got the better side, but you Arsenal the better side, but Real Madrid have got the 2-goal advantage. And that can make the difference tonight. Is that even if Arsenal are the better team tonight, the fact that Real Madrid are already 2 goals up is going to make this very, very difficult. Real Madrid, the ones getting themselves on the ball. Mendes goes up the line, only as far as Caitlin Ford. Little looks to find Marnham, cut out by Lacra. Lacra, again, brilliant game against Arsenal in the first leg. Brilliant game against Barcelona on Sunday. If she has another really good defensive performance, then the likes of Alessia Russo are going to really struggle tonight, because Lacra will just not let her breathe. Aveline Bell says, where can I watch the game in Australia? I'm not too sure, to be honest. If you're in England, it's on TNT. It is on DAZN in certain regions, but I'm not, that's only in certain regions. So you might be lucky if you can get it there, but if not, I'm not too sure. Here is Williamson. Because I know the DAZN YouTube is kind of picks and chooses which games are on when. Here is Caldente dropping in very deep. Mariona Caldente, as we expect her to do so tonight. Which is, they're hoping that she can, with her playmaking efforts will work from that deep. Ball looking for Fox on the overlap. Carmona will sweep it up. Tries to knock it out for a throw using Fox. Fox keeps it alive though. Frida Marnham dealt with well by Terletti. Clearance only as far as Chloe Kelly. Here is Frida Marnham across the box away by Lacra, and Carmona will second that clearance and put it out for an Arsenal throw. But the Gunners are starting well and are putting on a solid performance. They're coming hard and fast, as you'd expect. Ball over the top, looking for Russo, headed away by Lacra. Marnham has a go from range. It's not a bad one, but Misa Rodriguez will come out and claim that. That's exactly what you want as a goalkeeper. Early doors, get a decent claim on the ball. Nice effort. And now Real Madrid are going to try and spring on the counter. Forced backwards though. Here is Garcia. Goes back to Mendes. Mendes into her goalkeeper. Rodriguez looks to find Carmona. That's a good knock. Will fall to Caicedo. Caicedo versus Fox was a brilliant battle in the first leg. And again tonight could be a key battle. Can Emily Fox keep Linda Caicedo quiet? Or will Caicedo have a massive impact on this game like she did last Tuesday? Fox, for the most part, did a really good job of containing her. But the problem is the one time Caicedo got away from Fox was the one time that Caicedo scored. But that's the kind of player she is. Nick Nat onto the stream says, good crowds tonight. Great. Yeah, really good stuff so far. Great support on the stream. Great attendance at the Emirates as well. Lots of people understanding how big this game is. And it is absolutely huge. For Arsenal to get through to the Champions League semi-finals would be incredible under René Slagers. Real Madrid looking to do it for the first time in their history. Here is Caitlin Ford on the left-hand side though for Arsenal. Cutting inside, looking dangerous. Teletti intercepts, cleared away by Garcia. Only as far as Leia Williamson. Here is Ford. Ford to McCabe. McCabe skips past the tackle, puts the ball in, looking for Russo. Mendes heads it clear. Carmona gets it further away from the penalty area. Fox under pressure from Caicedo. Teletti wins the clearance. It's now a foot race between Caicedo and Williamson, but the ball is going to run out of play. Lots of people asking about the game. As I said, it is on DAZN tonight, I believe. If you're in the UK, then it is on TNT. It is on DAZN tonight in certain regions as well. So depending on where you are, it should be on the DAZN app. But Nick now saying I'm at the stream, mate. Yes, good crowd tonight in the stream as well. But yeah, so solid. I believe elite. I think it's over 20,000 at the Emirates tonight, which is really good. Hoping to see their side progress to the semi-finals. It is a big ask, but Arsenal are going to give it everything they've got. And Nick says, "What's Jack's excuse tonight?" Then Jack's excuse tonight is illness, so it's just me again. Everyone's getting used to seeing me now. Double by myself on Sunday, double by myself tonight. Olga Carmona with a throw. Real Madrid. And this is the problem that I think Arsenal had in the first leg, is Real Madrid did really well to settle in. They settled down really nicely into the game. And that's exactly what they're looking to do tonight. And Arsenal can't let them, because if Real Madrid settle into this game, if Real Madrid get a rhythm, then Arsenal are going to really struggle to break that down. Long ball forwards, looking for Fox. That will run out of play, though, and go out for a Real Madrid goal kick. Positive start for Arsenal, but still, Real Madrid doing well, just defending that penalty area superbly. And again, lots of conversation between Slagers and their assistant. They know it's important tonight they find a way through. That's a poor pass from Mendes, picked off by Kelly. Kelly goes to Williamson. Williamson to Catley. Catley uses Kim Little, who has dropped in here. In between centre halves, here's Leia Williamson. Little. Caldente. McCabe. As Ford wider. We'll use Caldente instead. This time she goes to Ford. Ford up against Athenia. Really good tracking back from the rounded winger, but Ford will look to come inside. Ford looking for Marnham. Cut out though by Teletti. Will fall to Williamson. And this is what Arsenal just got to be careful, because they are very high. Every single Arsenal player is deep into that rounded half. That's a foul in there by Signa Bruna. A little bit too aggressive on Katie McCabe. Bastian went to the stream. He says, no excuses, but the pitch last time was horrible. Want to know how this can affect the game today. I think that, yes, the pitch was bad last time. Obviously, that had a massive effect on both teams. Not just Arsenal, but both teams. Real Madrid, I think it did suit them more, in terms of Real Madrid were wanting to play that physical, long ball hold-up game. And I think that did favour Real Madrid, because Arsenal couldn't really get on the ball because it wasn't that kind of pitch. Kelly puts the ball in, looking for Russo. Really brave goalkeeping though from Misa Rodriguez, and manages to get there before the English striker. But yeah, I do think that tonight it'll be much easier for Arsenal to get the ball down and play football. It's dry. The pitch isn't churning up. It's not as windy as it was. So getting that ball out wide, getting that ball into the box is going to be easier for Arsenal. But again, it's also going to be easier for Real Madrid, because they're not. Both teams are playing on the same pitch. But I do think that tonight does favour Arsenal, being at the Emirates, being on a ground they know. This is, a bar playing against Barcelona. This is the biggest stage that Real Madrid have played on. Long ball looking for McKay. McKay put out by Garcia for a throw. But as Nick Nack says, both teams found the same pitch. Not sure how much of an excuse that is. Yeah, completely get that. Real Madrid trying to play out. Angle dial is pounced on by Caldente. Here's Leia Williamson. Williamson to Little. Little to Fox. Here is Williamson. Catley. Caldente. But yeah, I just think that the occasion tonight favours Arsenal. Real Madrid, this is a massive moment for them. And it's a massive moment for Arsenal as well, obviously. But it's a strange position to be in. McCabe dinks it through to Russo. Lacra with a brilliant tackle to deny Alessia Russo. And that has got out for a corner. Mendes is furious. It's one of those where Mendes saw it out for a corner. And it ended up being given as a goal. Saw it out for a goal kick and ended up being given as a corner. Let's have a look. Lakra wins the tackle. Doesn't touch Russo there. Mendes comes in. Looks to see the ball out. Yeah, it is a corner. I'm not sure why Mendes thinks it takes a touch. It's definitely a corner. And now a chance for Arsenal from this set piece. Referee, though, is going to have a conversation with players in the penalty area, though. Bastian says some teams are used to their condition, others not. Not excuse, but a factor. He's out on Bolivia at home. Yeah, I completely get what you're saying. The actual occasion of it and in terms of being used to it. But, yeah, that part makes sense. Ball in. Not a bad one. It's in a good area. Catley will get there and it's just headed wide. Catley and Caurente at the far corner, kind of combining to head it over the bar. But yeah, Real Madrid will be more used to playing on their pitch. Arsenal will be more used to playing on this pitch. But yeah, it was Caurente and Catley at the far post. Caurente heads just over for Arsenal. Best chance of the game so far. Real Madrid restart with the goal kick. Rodriguez finds Brune, flicked on, doesn't quite work out. Angledal wins it back. Little though of a good tackle and Arsenal can get themselves on the ball. Phil says should do better with that. Yeah, unmarked as well running in. I think she got slightly put off by Steph Catley in front of her. McCabe with a brilliant run. She's very high here. Cuts into the penalty area looking for Kelly. Carmona pokes it away from her. And now Real Madrid look to come the other way. Really good stuff from Caroline Witt. Angledal finds Bruna. Bruna plays it over the top to Athenia. Athenia now for Real Madrid. Goes backwards to Garcia. Garcia into Angledal. Angledal into Athenia. Back to Garcia. And then this is the thing. Is that Real Madrid, when they get the opportunity, they'll get themselves on the ball. They'll try and get themselves into the game. Which is why it isn't as clear cut as Arsenal just need to score goals tonight. Because Real Madrid will make it difficult. Here is Linda Caicedo. FR, welcome to the stream, says you think Real can advance. I think they're in a really, really good position to. With a 2-goal advantage and with the quality that they have. And especially the way they've been playing. They were brilliant in the first leg. They were even better against Barcelona at the weekend. To beat Barcelona 3-1 is something no side can say over the last few years. So a massive result for Real Madrid. And yeah, I think if they play the way they've been playing recently, they should get through tonight. So, it's massive for them. Here is Ford. Ball in to Marnham. Heavy touch. Mendes deals with it. Garcia will put it out. Only as far, though, as Caitlin Ford. Ford to Caurente. Here's Katie McCabe. Catley. Caurente. Real Madrid win it back. And now they'll come the other way. Caroline Witt. Angledal. Toletti. Into Garcia. Heavy touch, but she gets away with it. Pass is just too far ahead, though, of Caroline Witt. And the Gunners will get back on the ball. Switch of the play. Looking to Caitlin Ford. We'll find Caitlin Ford. Running now at Garcia. Ford cuts in. It's not bad. That's a good tackle from Garcia, though. And that is out for another Arsenal corner. And as Nick Nat says, great start from Arsenal so far. Yeah, really good stuff. The Gunners are, clearly they've come with the mentality. They know it's important. They start fast. They start well, and that they can get an early goal tonight. Real Madrid doing very well to defend that penalty area, but Arsenal are pushing. Very positive so far. They're doing well. They're building momentum, which is exactly what they need to do when you need to find a few goals. Another ball in, not a bad one. Put out for another corner at the front post. Chloe Kelly out on the far side. We'll have another go. I think it was Toletti at the near post who turned it behind. Kelly then will set it up. Referee's not happy that it's not in the D. Now she is. Kelly with the ball in then for Arsenal, looking towards Williamson at the back post. She has left it, but it will go for a free kick. Free kick's been given anyway. Think it would have gone for a corner. But free kick against someone else in the penalty area. A bit of pushing and shoving going on. Summer says, I'm back from football. Welcome back, Summer. Vikash on the screen says, where can I see the match for free? I'm not quite sure you can see it for free, unfortunately. If someone else knows, then feel free to let Vikash know. FR says, I really thought Arsenal was going to win the first leg, but as you said, that recent Barca game made me favour Real in this game to advance, especially the 2-goal cushion. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Real Madrid playing very, very well. They did well to beat Arsenal last week. They're in fine form. They've got some top players, and they're proving that. And yeah, I think it will be difficult. And I can understand why you'd favour Real Madrid. Ford puts the ball in, finds Mariona Caldente. Big chance for Arsenal now. Caldente, it's across the face of goal, but it's not quite in. Big opportunity for Arsenal. Great run from deep from Caldente. Flicks it round the corner, runs onto it, flashes it across the face of goal, and no one in an Arsenal shirt is there to turn it home. Caldente just flicks it up, hoping someone might be there, but no one managed to get on the end of it. Kelly, McCabe, back to Kelly. Ball in, not a bad one. It's nearly went in herself, but out for a goal kick. Not bad stuff though from Arsenal. They've come out tonight with a clear intent and they've started well. The problem is that goal is going to have to come pretty soon. I don't see Real Madrid collapsing, and this is the big thing. Is a lot of people have said that if Arsenal score first tonight, that the floodgates will open, they'll run away with it. And I would have agreed, but if you look at the weekend, when Barcelona equalised, I thought the Real Madrid were going to collapse and that Barcelona would score quite a few. But they didn't. They held firm and they ended up, bringing it back and won the game. I just don't see Real Madrid collapsing tonight, and that could be Arsenal's problem. Is that even if the Gunners get one, get two, I think Madrid will hang in there. They'll still be clipping at their heels all the way. Le Beau gang went to the strings. Real Madrid have evolved. Yeah, they've come on leaps and bounds over the last couple of years. Especially under Alberto Toril. He was the first one to get them into the Champions League. He was the first one to get them through to the knockouts, and now he could be the first one to get them through to the semi-finals. Fox looks to cross it in. Carmona cuts it out. Caicedo now stuck in her own corner. And is going to need some help here. Uses Carmona, who clears it. Williamson, though, keeps it alive. Here is Marnham. Will it overrun? No. Marnham will get the ball across, but into the side netting. And out for a goal kick. Not bad stuff. Though, again, Arsenal doing well. Winning the ball hard at the pitch and keeping Real Madrid under pressure. Nick Nat says almost feels like they're trying to force it a bit. It's a little bit rushed in attacking areas, but that'll be a mix of, as you say, forcing it a little bit, but also they know they need to play it quickly when a side plays a low block, you have to move the ball quickly, you have to keep them guessing. So there's urgency from Arsenal tonight, which is as expected. They need 3 goals against a side who are strong defensively. They've got to move the ball quickly tonight. Ball out onto the right-hand side, picks out Caitlin Ford. Ford lays it into the onrushing Kim Little. Little tries to go back to Fox, put out though for an Arsenal throw. Kai's on reason how can I actually watch the match? DAZN's in the wrong country. DAZN is only available in DAZN in certain countries. That's a good ball in. Looking for McCabe. Was McCabe pulled down? The referee waves that away. McCabe is going to ask the question though. I'd expect nothing less. Don't think it's going to work though. Eric Kamara says, no disrespect to Manuela Zinsberger, but picking her over Daphne Van Domstar in that first leg was key to Arsenal defeat in that game. I think that, Van Domstar was out with concussion, was the problem. So it was mandatory, Eric. Zinsberger had to start. Van Domstar was out. It was a big miss, though, I agree. I think having no Van Domstar did cost Arsenal potentially, but unfortunately it was forced through them. And then it says 2 goals will do to force extra time. Yeah, exactly. But the problem with that is also you chance it, going to extra time. It's not a guaranteed victory. But you'd like to think with the firepower, they might go on to win it. But it's going to be close tonight. No matter what happens. 18 minutes through, still Arsenal 0, Real Madrid 0. But Arsenal have started well. They've been the better side. They've just got to start pulling the trigger and causing more problems. Catley. Into Williamson. Here's Little. A lot of space and time here for Kim Little. Goes out wide. Goes to Steph Catley. Back to Williamson. Catley again. Arsenal doing well. They're probing. They've got to find a way through. Catley goes back to McCabe. Caldente fires it into Marnham. That's better from Mariano Caldente, but the part doesn't link up there between Marnham and Kelly. Bit of a mix-up and end up losing the ball. Real Madrid trying to play out, and they've done so really well and won themselves a throw. But yeah, it's a good start so far. Gang says, if you get tired, you'll be punished by Real Madrid. In fact, yeah, it's exactly what they do. They hit you on that break, on that counter with the pace they've got, and it causes all sorts of problems. Here's Alessia Russo. Big tackle, though, from Angledahl. The referee gets in the way. That's a foul from Russo, though. Russo is frustrated, but she did dive in there and did end up catching the Real Madrid player. I'm having another look here. She gets dispossessed by Garcia running in. There's a foul. Doesn't get it right. Russo thinks she got the ball, but hates that she didn't. End up going through the player to get to the ball. Long ball there from Real Madrid. Finds Brune. Caroline Witt loses out to Caldente. Here's Kelly. Kelly forced backwards. Again, Catley now. Here is McCabe. Arsenal enjoying 68% of the ball so far. They've had all the ball. They've just got to start doing something with it. Toletti has won it back for Real Madrid. Angledahl back to Toletti. Looks to find Caicedo over the top. Important interception from Leah Williamson, who looks to go forwards here. Doesn't really have an option on. Finds Ford. Marnham flicks it on to nobody. And Mendes will clean up for Real Madrid. Angledahl loses it. Now here's Frida Marnham. Chloe Kelly. Arsenal have got a good opportunity here. Kelly looks to go overlap to Caldente. Doesn't pull it off. McCabe wins it off Athenia, though. That's a foul, though, from the Real Madrid winner. And that will be an Arsenal free kick. Clumsy that from Athenia. Getting back in. Just catches Katie McCabe. It's good stuff from the Arsenal fullback. Pounces on the ball and runs away with it. Athenia tripping her up. Lucky says Madrid got their first task, 20 minutes gone. Yeah, spot on there. It's exactly what they'll do tonight. They'll sit deep and they will just count the minutes down. Survive the first 10, survive the first 20, settle into the game, keep it at 0-0 for 30, 40. If they get to half-time at 0-0, that's a job well done for Real Madrid, because that is exactly what the game plan is tonight. Katie McCabe over the free kick for Arsenal. Plenty of options in the area. A couple of players are marked to the back post as well. McCabe swings it in. It's not a bad one. Looking for Catley. Kept alive by Arsenal, but cleared away by Toletti. Fox then in a foot chase with Caicedo. Fox will get there first and use it. Ford into Caldente. Fires it down to line to Russo. That's a good ball. Alessia Russo, but a really good tackle from Lacra once again. Does really well to stick to Russo and dives in there, but gets it right. Very easy to get that tackle horribly wrong and give away a penalty. But Latrard times that to perfection. Sam says, I'm so nervous. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a really, for Arsenal, it's a really balanced situation to be in, because yes, they're on top. Yes, they've got the ball, but it's not like it's not as comfortable as I think they'd like it. They're not putting incredible amounts of pressure on Real Madrid. McCabe corner. Not a bad one claimed by Misa Rodriguez, though. Williamson's down in a heap in the penalty area. Is a head injury, and the ref needs to see that. Ref still hasn't seen that. Williamson's now back to her feet, though, so it's all good. And Arsenal are the ones coming forward. Kelly puts the ball in. Ford will manage to get there. Can't quite get enough behind it, though, and Angledahl will pounce. And Real Madrid now look to counter themselves. Driving forwards, Caroline Weir. Weir to Caicedo. The pass is overhit, though, and that'll run out for an Arsenal throw-on. LeBeau says Brown is good at last minutes. Yeah, they're really good at just, they'll hang in there, they'll keep themselves in the game, and then they'll punish you later on. It's what they did to Arsenal when they scored that second goal. It's what they did to Barcelona when they scored those two late goals to win the El Clasico on Sunday. They've shown in the big games that they can keep going from 1 to 90, which is from 0 to 90. They don't just forget about the first minute. But they do. They're a top side. You'd expect them to do that now. I think it shouldn't come as a surprise anymore. They are challenging and doing what they're doing. Kelly looks to play the ball down the line. Cut out, though, by Carmona. Kelly does get it back, though. And Arsenal will once again start to knock the ball around their own back line. Catley to Williamson. Kelly goes direct at Carmona. A good ball in. Ford is attacking at the back post. She'll complain that she's fouled. McCabe will dink it in. Toletti will deal with it. Obviously, VAR in operation tonight, for those wondering. And they will be having a look at everything and anything that goes on. Someone asks, is Kyra on? No, it is a pivot tonight of Caldente and Kim Little for Arsenal tonight. Phil says, way too many crosses, we have no height. Yeah, it's Arsenal, they get the ball out wide, but they've got to be cutting inside. Stop, these getting to the byline, crossing in isn't quite going to work tonight. Have to get that ball, get it wide and then cut inside. Here's Caicedo, who's doing exactly that for Real Madrid. Toletti looks to play it out wide to Athenia and will find the Real Madrid right winger. Athenia now. Arsenal do well to get back in. Nick Nat says Arsenal have to find a balance, can't go all out attack and concede a goal. Exactly. That's the problem. Is that as much as a lot of people will think they could just throw numbers at it, they can't tonight because Real Madrid will punish them. Summer says, I think subs will be vital. Yeah, exactly. Because I can see this game being 1-0, 1-0, 2-0 Arsenal come the latter stages. And at that point, the subs could really make a difference for both sides. Arsenal have got plenty full have got a few players to come on. I'd expect to see Palova come on once again. Obviously, she returned on Saturday, which was key for the Gunners. Palova return. They've got a lot of legs in that midfield to bring on as well for Arsenal. Stina Blackstenius is another option. For Real Madrid, they have Redondo, obviously the goal scorer, on Sunday for them in the El Clasico. Got their first goal. Plenty of options to come off there. Again, Ava Navarro, another one. So both sides with players off the bench that can make a difference. Lolo says, where are you watching this game? Watching it on TNT Sports, which is where it is on in the UK. Here is Catley. Catley to Williamson. Again, stuck on the ball. Real Madrid doing very, very well to press. That out of possession shape looking like a 4-4-2 for Real Madrid with Bruna and Caroline Witt. Here is Caitlin Ford, though, looking to cause problems. Cut out by Garcia. And that ball will now go to Caroline Witt, who looks to come forwards. Leah Williamson, though, with a piece of solid defending. And wins her side a free kick. Does very, very well. Does Williamson there. Just stands Weir up. Forces her to commit the foul. Ball put out of play again by Athenia. And again, Arsenal done well, but we've seen this time and time again with the Gunners. When they play against a low block, they have all of the ball, but just can't do anything with it. They've got to find a way through tonight. They've got to find a way to break Real Madrid down. Either force a mistake or force your way through. Caldente into Kim Little. Little uses Fox on her right-hand side, who goes down the line to Kelly. Kelly now puts the ball in. It's not a bad one. It's over Russo. McCabe arriving at the back post, but Athenia gets there first. And then Ford blocks that clearance and it's out for a Real Madrid goal kick. Camuves, I hope I've got that right, but welcome to the stream. It says 3-1 to the Arsenal. Again, I could definitely see that happening. That would be a result that would take this game to extra time. But yeah, Arsenal tonight, they're going to need goals. A lot of them. Well, at least 2 of them, to be exact. But I think that will be the aim. They understand that they'd love to win the game in normal time. The aim will be to score 3, win this game, and get this game done in 90 minutes. But I think they'll also be reasonable and understand that it's going to take something, they're going to have to do well to score 3 against this rounded low block. So they did get 2 and took it to extra time. They could punish. Chloe Kelly cutting inside. Really good from Kelly. Looks to poke it to Caldente, but that runs out of play. Phil says, I really don't like this midfield. We're just doing exactly what Real want us to do. I think it's an interesting setup to go with Carate and Little. Yeah, I understand it because without Vouty is more of your defensive option, but she does dictate the tempo nicely. But the problem, and that could potentially be an option. I think Cooney Cross, I understand why you wouldn't play her in this game, because if you've got Carente in there, you don't want Carente and Cooney Cross doing kind of trying to do the same thing. Little, I think she's okay in the first leg, but again, needs to start progressing that ball, needs to get it moving forwards. I could see Vouty coming in potentially at half time if nothing changes for Arsenal. Carmona goes long, looking for Weir. Williamson won the header, but Weir read that well and it fell to her instead. Caicedo now holds onto the ball, looks to beat Fox. Good feet from the Real Madrid left-hand side winger. One back though by Fox. Good defending. Again, I mentioned it earlier. A key battle tonight between Fox and Caicedo. And it is now Emily Fox on the ball once again. Goes to Williamson. Nick now says, just scoring one goal, shift the momentum of the tie as long as they don't leave it too late. Yeah, exactly. I think that if they get... It's one of those where if they get one, they'll probably get two. And then whether they get three is a different question. But yeah, if they... I think Arsenal... I don't see Arsenal only winning 1-0 tonight. I think if they get one, they'll get two, or they won't get any. Kelly into Caldente. Caldente now. Good defending from Teletti. Puts it out for a corner. 15 minutes to go to half-time here. Arsenal still level with Real Madrid. Madrid leading by 2-0 on aggregate. Research work, one of the streams says it is harder to recover from 2 goals. If you open more the game, they will punish you. Yeah, exactly. If Arsenal go for it, Real Madrid will hit them on the counter. So they've got to be patient, Arsenal. McCabe, ball in, too flat, headed away, or hooked away by Teletti. Athena will chase, but Little will get there first and knock it back to Daphne van Domselaar. Nick says quality of delivery from wide areas just hasn't been there so far. Yeah, I agree. Just the problem is they've got Russo in there, agreed, but I just don't think Arsenal aren't a team that are known for their height. I think that if you're going to get the ball to the wide areas, you've got to drill that ball along the floor, because Lacra and Mendes are just going to clear anything else that comes in the air. Or you get the ball out wide and then you drive inside, like Caitlin Ford is doing right now for Arsenal. But that's good defending, good shadowing from Angeldal, and manages to win the ball back for Real Madrid. Clearance though from Athena only falls to Caldente. Caldente now finds Kelly. Kelly back to Little. Little to Williamson. Phil says we're just going to cross the ball, should put Elished up front. Yeah, I do like the use of Amanda Elished when she's just thrown on up front with 5-10 minutes to go. Yeah, just stick Elished up there. Russo cuts it back. Not a bad one. It's headed over by Caitlin Ford. And that's the best opportunity of the game so far from Arsenal. A quick throw that caught her out, rounded out. Really good from Fox. Quick throw. Russo spins Lacra. Puts it into the box and Caitlin Ford heads over. Big opportunity for Arsenal. Big opportunity for Ford. It's a bouncing ball. She just jumps up, gets under it and heads it quite far over in the end. And hopefully she's alright because she has gone down. But yeah, just gets under it. Caitlin Ford hits her on the top of the head and goes over. Let off for Real Madrid. Biggest chance of the game so far for Arsenal. Ford looks to be okay and will continue. But I think a player of her quality would have expected to do better with a chance like that. Research work says Arsenal to be patient. Madrid will not keep up defending until the end of the game without conceding. Yeah, exactly. Real are happy to sit deep. They've lost the ball hard at the pitch though. Caldente gives it to Russo, who lets fly. It's blocked. Will it fall to Kelly? Misa Rodriguez makes a meal of it. But in the end, she manages to get there. Kelly and Misa Rodriguez were challenging for it. And Kelly just couldn't do enough to poke it past her. Arsenal win the ball back hard at the pitch. It's Russo's shot that's blocked. It falls into a bit of no man's land. Kelly got there first, but Misa Rodriguez managed to just get a touch and then managed to claim it as it ran away. But Arsenal starting to just ask more questions of the Real Madrid backline. They're getting closer and closer to this first goal. Marnon. Ball is hooked out of play by Garcia for a corner. As everyone's pointing out, though, Arsenal, these chances are coming for Arsenal. They've got to start taking them. Clements, one of the stream, says it is very difficult for Arsenal to get 2 goals this game. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Very difficult now for the Gunners to try and get 2 goals, but they're going to give it everything they've got. Another corner now for Arsenal. Chloe Kelly over it. Again, options lining that back post for Arsenal. Ball is put in. Teletti will clear that out at the near post, and that'll be another Arsenal corner. Dagging what the stream says, channel please. If you are in the UK, it is on TNT Sports. If you are elsewhere, then it is on DAZN in certain regions. But as we found out tonight, it doesn't quite work in certain areas. Ball put in by Arsenal. It's not a bad one. Risa Rodriguez parries it away. Teletti puts it directly up in the air. Caurente will bring it down. Here is Little. Little to McCabe. McCabe across to Kelly. Kelly darting inside. Goes to Kim Little. Little back to Fox. Summer says, do you know why there isn't anyone seated behind the goal? I think it's simply because they just didn't sell that area out tonight. They've sold out all on the near side and on the far side, but they didn't behind either goal. They didn't put anyone for tonight. Athenia puts that ball out for an Arsenal throw. As Nick says, 1 goal at a time, all about getting back in the game at the moment. Yeah, exactly that. Arsenal, they have got time tonight. They've got plenty of it at the moment. They've just got to be careful that time doesn't run away from them. Ball hooked out for another throw, and that will go the way of Real Madrid. Ball had already left the field before it was cleared. Garcia. Taking a lot of liberty to bring that throwing up the line. Referee's happy for the walk a good few yards there. Long throw from Real Madrid. It does work out. Caroline Weir goes to Olga Carmona. And this is what Real Madrid can do. They can hit you on the break. Carmona leading the drive for Real Madrid. Decides to go back and takes away all the momentum that they had. Lacra across to Mendes. Mendes finds Garcia. Garcia to Mendes. This is good from Real. They're just getting themselves on the ball, giving themselves a few minutes of taking that pressure off, working their way into the game. Caroline Weir dropping in to link up the centre halves. Mendes goes for the switch of the play. Good header to clearance though from Leah Williamson. Williamson goes long. It's not a bad ball. McCabe, though, misjudges it, and Athenia will see that out for a throw if she can, but it's not going to run. Decides to go back. Here is Teletti. Teletti goes to Athenia. Athenia dispossessed, though, by Caitlin Ford. And again, well worked by Real Madrid. They're just having these periods of play where for a couple minutes they get on the ball and they just take all the pressure off them. And it's really, it's working quite well because it just means that when they do need to sit in, they haven't been under consistent pressure. Helping them massively. They tried to come forward here though and they have lost the ball. And Arsenal look to spring forwards now. Frida Marnham on the charge. Sets Russo off down the left-hand side. Arsenal coming forwards now. Real Madrid get back in well. Arsenal lacking numbers. Russo forced to go back. McCabe will swing it in. It's not a bad ball. Headed away by Lacra. And Caicedo now looks to come the other way for Real Madrid. Up against Caurente. She's pulled back. And it has been given. And I think Mariana Caurente will be very lucky to avoid the book here. Toril is asking the question on the Real Madrid sideline. Caicedo bursting away. And that is a deliberate pullback from Mariana Caurente. The fact that's not a yellow card is very, very surprising. I think Alberto Torreira's reaction tells you everything you need to know. Just over 5 minutes to go then, until the end of this first half. Carmona, won back by Kelly, out for a Real Madrid throw. Monu Goswami onto the stream. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Carmona plays a 1-2 with Weir. Calorente will pounce on it, finds Russo. Russo does well to hold it up, finds Kim Little. Little into Marnham, looks to flick it round the corner, doesn't quite come off. Angledal will now go the other way, and round with a big chance. Foot race between Catley and Athenia, and Steph Catley wins that one. Because I tell you what, if Athenia had got to that one first, Arsenal would have been in a bit of trouble. And someone says this is flown by. That's what happens when your side are under pressure when you are needing goals in a game. You do feel like the time does just run away from you. Mendes. Across to Misa Rodriguez. And again, Real Madrid. Arsenal happy to let Real Madrid sit on the ball here. Well held up by Bruna. Plays a 1-2 with Weir. Weir will go wider to Athenia. Big chance this for Real Madrid. Athenia puts the ball back. Big touch from McCabe. Will fall to Angledal. Big save. Caicedo on the rebound. Another big save from Dan Domslar. And the flag will go up eventually. But big chances for Real Madrid. A huge double save from Daphne Van Domslar. Keeps this game at 0-0. The rebound was offside from Caicedo, but take nothing away from the first strike. Angledal running in on it. And a really good diving save from Daphne Van Domselaar. Ball fell to Angledal, hit it well. Caicedo was offside. Van Domselaar saves the first. Another big save for the second. Keeps this game level. But Philippa Angledal caught that really nicely. But huge, brilliant goalkeeping from Van Domselaar. There's Nick that says keeps his tie alive. Spot on. If it goes 3-0 Real Madrid, then that's pretty much game, set, match. Really good stuff from Daphne Van Domselaar. Now Arsenal look to come the other way. Ball long into Ford. Ford does well to avoid the challenge. It's overhit though, and Caicedo will pick up on the pass. Linda Caicedo. Really good footwork. Goes out wide to Garcia. Garcia to Athenia. Plays a 1-2 with Angledal. Pass though is pounced on. Falls to Toletti. Ball through to Caicedo now. Real Madrid coming forwards once again. Linda Caicedo bursting into the box. Has a go. It's off the post. And the flag goes up again. Flag obviously being delayed due to the use of VAR. But Caicedo goes through once again. Striking the post, but the flag goes up. We'll have a look at this one here. Was she offside? Oh, I think she was just offside. But Caicedo again cutting in, causing problems. And although these chances are offside, they're still going very, very close. And they're still putting Arsenal under pressure. But yeah, I do think that it would have been close if that had gone in. Ball long to Ford. Couple minutes remaining of the first half. McCabe. Ball in. Brilliant drilled pass. Marnham puts it in there, but no one can connect with it. Another cross that no one in an Arsenal shirt gets on the end of. And it will run out of play for a Real Madrid goal kick. Someone says, Jeremy might not watch and might see what the score is at the end. So I can't. That's what football does sometimes. But it's going to be a good game nonetheless. Arsenal have got a lot of work to do, but they're probing. Real Madrid, though, are showing they still pack a punch on the counter. And Arsenal have got to be very, very careful. Bastian says, Real Madrid get a corner. Lacra may as well kill Arsenal's hopes. Greater heading. Yeah, again, it's things like that. Set pieces, counter-attacks. Real Madrid can really hurt Arsenal. That's a poor pass over from Mendes. It's a 4-on-4 for Arsenal now. Kelly plays it through to Ford. Will Ford get there? Brilliant defending from Garcia. Russo tries to win it back. Mendes will get it out. Angledal doesn't really deal with it. Little bit scrappy now from both sides. McCabe tries to skip past Mendes. Does well to hold on to it. Still Katie McCabe. Does well to resist the pressure from the Real Madrid centre half. Ford looks to dart past her. Out for an Arsenal throw. Nick now says, I feel like Real are growing into this game. Yeah, they've done well. They've settled in. They're starting to get on the ball themselves. They're starting to have, periods of play where they are coming forwards. Again, Arsenal chance cut out by Bruno, but the clearance will fall to Little. Ford does well to get it back to Kim Little. Little to Kelly. This is a good chance for Arsenal. Here's Carante across the box looking for Russo, but she's got to throw herself at that. Got to throw herself at that. Really, just not good enough. And that is the end of the half. No additional minutes. 45 played. Arsenal 0. Real Madrid 0. And a first half at the Emirates where Arsenal came on strong at times, but still no clear-cut opportunities. And they still trail by 2-0 on aggregate. Plenty of work for the Gunners to do. A positive half, but nothing to show for it. And Real Madrid, well, so far, it is job well done. Holding Arsenal firm in that first 45. They are 45 minutes away from reaching the Champions League semi-finals. But yes, make sure to stick around during half-time. Get your thoughts in the live chat. We'll talk through all of them over the next 15 minutes. And I do have to say, if you are tuning in for the first time today, please do hit that subscribe button. Make sure, keep tuning in for content. A lot of content coming towards the end of this season as we enter the end of all the domestic campaigns and the conclusions of all the trophies. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell and keep up to date on our content. We'll have a preview out tomorrow for the Champions League ties going on tomorrow evening, and we'll have a video out on Friday reviewing all of the quarter-final action. So at least if you want to watch those, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. But yes, keep the thoughts coming. As Nick now says, feels a bit like the time to score was that first 30 minutes. Yeah, it was one of those where Arsenal started fast. They started the better side, and you feel like, well, they had that pressure. They should have taken advantage because in that last 15 minutes, Real Madrid really started to come into the game. We saw a few opportunities there. Van Domselaar made a brilliant nut double save. Linda Caicedo hit the post, and a couple. Real Madrid were a couple inches away there from being 3-4 up on aggregate, and Arsenal have got to be really careful about that. So a lot to work with. So Arsenal just got to be careful. They're giving Real Madrid too much. Too many chances really to get back in this game, because again, as we saw in the first leg, all it takes is 1 or 2 chances for Real Madrid and they will win this game. And it won't matter how many goals Arsenal score, because if Real Madrid go 3-0 up, then I don't see Arsenal coming back from that in 45 minutes. So still a lot of work for Arsenal to do, but they've got to do all that while not allowing Real Madrid to come forward as often as they are at the moment. HB says, for a striker so highly rated, Russo's box presence is awful. Her movement is average too. I have to disagree with that one. I think that Russo, her movement is one of her best parts of her game. I think she is a top striker. The problem is for Arsenal is that, I get what you mean, so her box presence isn't there. Agreed. But her box presence isn't there when Arsenal are getting the ball out wide and crossing it in, because that's not what Russo does. Russo is, she is a multifaceted striker, but Arsenal are just, it's not working. Getting the ball out wide and just hooking it into the box. No one's getting on the end of it. Frida Marham's not getting in there. Russo's not getting on the end of it. The runner at the back post isn't getting anywhere near it. They've got to stop just crossing the ball in aimlessly and hoping someone will get in there. If they drill it across the box and it's a brilliant ball, then fair enough. And I do think there's been a couple of those where Russo, as Dennis says, Russo could have stretched to reach out. I do agree. I think there's a couple in there where, with the situation that Arsenal are in, they should be throwing themselves at these crosses. I don't think the crosses have been brilliant, but they should be absolutely throwing themselves at the ball, because you never know. If you throw yourself at a ball, you might just make contact with it and it might just go in. But at the moment, Arsenal it's too conservative in attacking areas. When they get the ball in the penalty area, when they get the ball into the final third, they've got to start just being a little bit braver. Take that risk now because you've got nothing to lose. Dennis also says, can Frida Marden please offer something? She's like a shadow in their box. I do agree. I think that Marnham has really, really struggled. Again, just not got involved. But I think the whole Arsenal attack, just the final ball isn't coming off, which is why the likes of Russo and Marnham have gone very, very quiet, because that ball is just not getting anywhere near them. It is just not happening. Arsenal have got to start throwing more bodies at it and producing higher quality in the final third, because at the moment, as Phil says, that it's way too predictable and everything is right in front of the centre backs or crosses to no height. And I agree. I think that Arsenal are just not playing to their strengths, which is really bizarre. Get the ball on the deck, get the wingers cutting inside, and get Russo back to goal. Get her to hold it up, and get her to lay it off to people. Stop putting the ball out wide, get into the byline, and then just firing across the penalty area. That's not going to work for Arsenal tonight. It's as simple as that. They're not going to get away with just crossing the ball in and hoping someone gets there. There's no purpose to them. As Dennis says, play centrally. I agree. Get that ball. Wide players start cutting in and just get that ball through the middle. Or even if you play it out wide, then bring it back in. Don't play it out wide and then just loop the ball over the top of the goal, because no one's going to get there. Too many crosses tonight for Arsenal have just gone from whoever's crossed it in all the way across the goal onto the other side of the penalty area. No one can do anything with that. And they're wasting opportunities that Real Madrid are soon gonna pick up off. And everyone's pointing out that, and HB saying about the act of shooting. Yeah, Arsenal will not score tonight if they don't start pulling the trigger. They just have not had enough attempts on goal. When you need at least 2 goals to save yourself in the Champions League, you have to start having some shots. 15 yards out, 20 yards out, test the goalkeeper. Make Misa Rodriguez work. Yes, she's a good goalkeeper, but if you put it in either one of those top corners, you're going to beat her. 5 shots to Real Madrid 1. Difference is 1 shot on target each. Real Madrid have had 1 shot and put it on target. Arsenal had 5 and only put 1 shot on target. It's not good enough. One shot on target will not be enough to turn this tie around. They have to start hitting the target more. But in order to do that, you've got to start shooting. You look at these. Take all the other big sides, for example. You look at Barcelona had 23 shots in 45 minutes against Wolfsburg. I'm not saying that. I mean, that is ridiculous. To have a shot nearly every other minute is absurd. But that's the kind of level, not that extreme, but that's where Arsenal need to be. We should be looking at Arsenal having 10, 12 shots in a half. Especially when they're 2 goals down in the Champions League quarter-final. They should come out in the second half and have 10, 15 shots for me. They need to start pulling the trigger. Get that shot off before Real Madrid get back in. Get that shot off before they put a body in the way. Because that's what happened. They're trying to pass it into the penalty area, and then a body's getting in front of it, and it's completely meaningless. So Arsenal they've just got to start pulling the shot. As Nick Nack says, credit to Real Madrid, because they've been brilliant. They've defended well, they've limited Arsenal, and when they've got the opportunities, they've come forward. And that does have to be said. But Arsenal have got to find something. Got to find something. Got to start pulling the trigger more, and got to start testing Misa Rodriguez. And because if Arsenal have 15 shots and Misa Rodriguez saves all of them, then you come off this pitch and go, fair enough, because prime Van der Sar's in goal. But that's not the case at the moment. If you have 15 shots, Arsenal will score. It's as simple as that. If you start pulling the trigger, a goal will come. Augustine says Kim Little or Hasegawa every single day of the week times 10. No offence to Kim Little, but Hasegawa is much, much better. Dennis says, if you're going to play a midfielder as a shadow striker right now, it's Mariona and not Marnham. Get Cooney Cross on, let her play deep with Little, then push Mariona out the pitch. It's not a bad idea. I do think that potentially got to go more aggressive, got to start gambling. And especially, if you put Mariona Caldente higher, she is the type of player to have shots from range. Look at her goal against Liverpool. Outside the box, into the top left corner, because that's what Caldente does. And that is what Arsenal need right now. They need a player who's going to pick the ball up outside the edge of the area and have a go on goal. That's what it's going to take. just looking at the poll in chat, 515 votes, 65% of people, 66% of people now thinking that Arsenal will win, 34% for Real Madrid. Obviously, there's a lot of faith backing Arsenal tonight, but it's going to take a lot now, I think. 45 minutes, they need 2 goals to stay in the competition. They need 3 goals to win it in normal time. Let's see what happens. Plenty of time. They can do it. But now we're into that second half. It gets to the point where if they haven't scored in 10, 15 minutes time, then they could be in pretty big trouble. Hargos on the screen says 3-0. I'm guessing that's 3-0 Arsenal. Predicting the Gunners to win big in this second half. But yeah, I do think that I now in the conditions I don't see. Well, now we've had a half. I don't see Arsenal scoring 3. I think the only way they turn it around now is if they win by 2, take it extra time, and then pull back the tie. But we will see. Jan Keys, I think Kelly and Kante are the best players on the pitch for Arsenal. I have to agree. I think that Kelly's looked pretty sharp to give her a credit, and Karente's always Karente's normal standard is already good, and that's the thing. Arsenal have got to start using that more because you've got one hell of a player there in Mariota Karente, and they're just not utilising her. She has the quality to completely transform this tie for Arsenal, but it's just not working for them right now. But they've got to start working. Summer says, I went to foot at 7 and Lyon scores 1-1. I came back and it was 4-1. Crazy. Yeah, Lyon ran riot. And that's the thing. We'll mention Lyon. The winner of this obviously goes through to play Lyon. Whoever goes through is going to have a very tough time of it. Whoever wins out of Arsenal and Real Madrid tonight will be the underdog going into that semi-final. So it is hard work for them. But I think for Arsenal and Real Madrid, they won't really care about the semi-final. Obviously, they'll want to win it. But at the end of the day, for either of these two sides to get through to the semi-finals would be a massive achievement. With Arsenal, the troubles that Arsenal had this season, and with the fact that Real Madrid aren't one of the top sides, it would be a big achievement for either side. Dennis says, funny thing is Real Madrid will get destroyed in the next round. Yeah, but I think they'll give it a good go. But I don't think Arsenal would fare much better, to be honest. I think Lyon at the moment are tearing anyone apart, so it's difficult to call. Lucky says this is Arsenal's season on the line in the second half. I don't think so at all. At the end of the day for Arsenal, if they lose tonight, yes, it'll be disappointing, but no one expected René Slegers to come in and get them to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Yes, I think they'll be frustrated and you're always disappointed to lose a game, but if Arsenal get to if they lose tonight, they've still got to the quarterfinals, and if they finish runners up in the UWCL, then I think that's a pretty good season. If they finish top 3 in the league, no matter what happens tonight, I think it'll be a decent season. But yeah, I don't think their season's on the line tonight. I think their season's on the line for the rest of the domestic campaign. If they, it really depends what happens. If they finish in the top 3, then that's a job well done. If they finish runners up, then that's a really good result. But it'd be interesting to see what they can hold on to. Jack is saying bring Idaval back. Yeah, second half. Where is he? Call him in. Get his tactics, his personnel in for the second half. Maria says Lyon is quietly building momentum. Didn't see many speak about them online, but they look very good. Lyon are always good. That's the thing. No one really talks about Lyon because they are always good. But as you say, I think that looking at Barcelona and Chelsea right now, I think, obviously, I'm not counting Barcelona or Chelsea out. I think they're both incredible. But Lyon will really fancy themselves to go and win this title. Chelsea have got one hell of a job to do tomorrow night to turn it around against Man City. And Barcelona have shown this season that they are beatable. So I don't think it's... I think Lyon will very much fancy themselves to get a result. Like I said, Arsenal won't win the league. No, of course they're not going to win. No, they won't win the league now. But I still think finishing second in a season where they sacked their manager, I think finishing second would still be a really strong result. Joshua says, assuming it's the final again, Lyon or Barca, I'd have to say Lyon. I know that maybe, I think Barcelona have potentially got a slightly better squad right now, but with Joe Montemurro at the wheel, I think Lyon have looked incredible this season. Their only loss in the entire campaign was a penalty defeat, which technically doesn't count as a loss. So, yeah, I think that Lyon, for me, are probably the favourites right now out of the remaining 8 teams. Yankee says Leon are good, but they got knocked out of the Coupe de France in the first round. They did, but again, as I said, that was penalties, and they've still been incredible. Apart from that, so it's a difficult one. As research again saying, I don't see a team here starting Leon with Chawinga, Duane, Diani, and Ada. Yeah, I agree. That attack is just absolutely incredible. They are a very, very good side, but I think that no one beats Leon at the moment. That's their problem. But we'll see what happens. Maybe someone will get through and absolutely stun us in the next round. But both sides returning to the field then for a second half. Absolutely crucial now. Arsenal need at least 2 goals. If not, they will be out of the Champions League tonight. And Real Madrid will progress through to the semi-finals. But let's see what happens. Real Madrid have done well. Matt, welcome to the stream. Says hi, Madrisa from Chad. Just want to say that we managed well till now. We don't want that Arsenal space, so I'm happy for that. We want to reach semi-final first time. Hope we nailed it. Yeah, I think Real Madrid are in a really good position. They've played very, very well. They deservedly are going through at the moment. They've played very well across the 2 legs so far. Big second half now though, but if they hang in there, then I think they'll be okay. They're on course to get there now, and they should be in that semi-final come 45 minutes time. It's up to Arsenal to change that fortune and to turn this game around. We're in for a brilliant second half no matter what happens. Arsenal with the work to do. Real Madrid just need to hold on. Just need to survive. And they will reach the Champions League semi-finals for the first time in their history. They beat Barcelona for the first time ever on Sunday. And they're now looking to make a second piece of history in the next 45 minutes. Support coming in the chat for both sides. Real Madrid and Arsenal. Let's see what happens then. Across the next 45 minutes, the Emirates is believing and trying their absolute best to cheer their side on from the sidelines and give them that extra push to try and pull these 2 goals back. It will be Real Madrid to get us started in this second half. Bruno knocks it back. 45 minutes ahead of us in this Champions League quarter-final. And already a free kick conceded by, is it Chloe Kelly over on that far side? Carmona there was just caught. Needless foul, really, and Carmona isn't happy. It's Kelly putting the pressure on, just catches Carmona once the ball's been played. Real Madrid move it quickly. Arsenal back on the ball now. No changes, by the way, for either side at half-time. Here is Caitlin Ford. Ford on the charge. It's a good run from Ford. Still going, has managed to dodge 3 tackles. Advantage played as she finds Kelly. Kelly with the ball in for Russo, and it's 2, and then Arsenal got a goal. And that's exactly what they need to do. Brilliant start to the second half. Arsenal have 1 back. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Electric. And finally, someone gets on the end of one of these crosses and the deficit is halved. Really good stuff from the Gunners. Caitlin Ford with a brilliant drive. Chloe Kelly with the ball in. And Alessia Russo at the back post has managed to find herself unmarked. And within 50 seconds of the second half getting underway, Arsenal have the lead. Russo, VAR will have a look at that, but I think she was onside. It's a really good finish. And Arsenal have a goal. And that is key. Absolutely key. Only 1 needed now. Brilliant start for the Gunners. Real Madrid now. What have they got? Now it's a test of Madrid. And as everyone says, it is game on. 2-1 now on the aggregate. 1-0 on the night to Arsenal. And now the Gunners have 44 minutes to try and find 1 goal. To send it to extra time. To find 2. To win the game inside 90. Real Madrid, though, aren't going to go down without a fight. And they're coming forward once again here. Garcia comes inside. Pounced on by McCabe. And Arsenal are looking to come forward once again. Russo to Ford. Ford. Into Little. Little back to Caldente. Caldente inside to Marnham. Marnham to Ford. Arsenal starting fast in the second half. Ford cross blocked. Ball hooked out of play by Angledal. But yeah, again, brilliant ball in from Chloe Kelly. And as everyone says, what have Madrid got now? Can they respond to Arsenal's onslaught? Really fast start from the Gunners, but Arsenal have to keep this up. They've got their goal. They've got to keep the momentum. Marnham wins a corner. No, she doesn't. Goal kick. Not happy with that one, but I think it was a goal kick in the end. And Real Madrid now with a chance to take the pressure off. I mean, if from a Real Madrid point of view, a terrible start. When you're holding on in a Champions League quarter-final, in the second half, you just need to, again, settle down. To concede 45 seconds into that second half will be a very, very disappointing way to let that 2-goal advantage slip. It is now 1, but they've got to try and do their best. Williamson fires it down the line. Here is Chloe Kelly down the right-hand side. Kelly with the ball in. Caldente, and they've levelled. Brilliant from Arsenal. What a start to the second half. Caldente comes up big once again, and that 2-goal deficit is gone now for Real Madrid. Brilliant stuff from the Gunners, and they are level in this tie. What a start to the second half. We were worried that they would struggle to find the goals, but electric stuff from the Gunners. And that two goals down on aggregate, and we are now level in this tie. Real Madrid have capitulated. Unexpectedly, has to be said, but Arsenal keeping the pressure on. Chloe Kelly with 2 assists now tonight. Another really, really good ball in. Caldente just making that run from the edge of the area. Heads it into the ground. Misa Rodriguez should do better, but Arsenal will not care. Kelly with another brilliant ball in. Caldente with the header. It's Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 0. And it's 2-2 on aggregate, and it's all to play for now. Wow. And it's gone from a game that was nervy, that was edgy for Arsenal, where the pressure was on, and suddenly, within 4 minutes into the second half, and they are level in this game. Wow. And this is why we love football. This is what happens. And now Arsenal got their tails up and Real Madrid all over the place. And the Gunners are just going to keep pushing, because they're going to take this momentum and try and find a third. Welcome to everyone who's tuning in. Plenty of support now for Arsenal in the chat. Understandably so. Because 5 minutes ago, it was 2-0 Real Madrid. It was 0-0 on the night, and they were in all kinds of trouble. And now they're coming forwards once again. Kelly, Fox. Kelly from the area has a go. It's not a bad one. It's over the bar. What a game from Chloe Kelly, by the way. Has to be her best performance in a while. Really good stuff. 2 assists tonight for her. 2 brilliant balls into the penalty area. And this shot, not too far away. It's a performance that deserves a goal from Chloe Kelly tonight. And yes, just confirming this will go to extra time if it remains level. But we've still got 40 minutes, and I think the chances of it remaining level now are very, very slim. Because these two sides have been bringing up goals recently. Arsenal pounce on the ball once again. It's Kelly bringing it forwards. Causing all sorts of problems on that right-hand side is Chloe Kelly. Carmona does well to deal with it. Sees it out for a throw, but it's an Arsenal one. That's really silly. Silly defending that. To try and see it out for a throw when it's not even your throw. And as Jack says, if you are tuning in for the first time tonight, do make sure to hit that subscribe button. Recently hit 3K, looking to push on. Plenty of content coming over the next couple months. Got the Euros this summer as well. So make sure to subscribe for everything that is coming your way soon. Another throw-in for Arsenal, and the Gunners have got the momentum. They've got the belief now that they can completely turn this tie around. Real Madrid have just got to steady the storm. Ride it out. Keep yourself in the game, because if not, they could end up seeing themselves far out of it. Rousseau knockdown is lost. Weir will get on the end of it. Caroline Weir down the line, gives something for Brune to chase, who wins it off Williamson. That's really poor defending from Leah Williamson, but she does well to recover. Signa Brune pounced on the error, and she's frustrated with herself, Signa Brune, because her touch really let her down. It's good recovery from Williamson, but realistically, if Brune's touch is better there, Williamson is in all kinds of trouble. That is a let-off. Massive let-off for Arsenal and Williamson. If Bruno's touch is anything more positive there, then Arsenal are in big trouble. Back on the ball now. Van Domselaar. Williamson. And this is where we start to think about that, that double save from Van Domselaar to keep Arsenal in the game at 2-0 down. They're the kind of moments that you start to think about. Now Arsenal have got back level. Athena goes long, looking for Brune. Catley will get there. Catley back to Caldente. Of course, it's Mariona Caldente coming up big for Arsenal in the Champions League as well. Big game player. She doesn't want to lose to Real Madrid twice. Ball from Williamson, pounced on by Caicedo. Here is Toletti. Caicedo again. Big tackle from Williamson. Does well to win the ball back. Free kick is given against Real Madrid now as well. Both players down on the floor. Caicedo and Williamson. Both down injured. And this doesn't look good at all for Williamson. Caicedo's back to her feet. Yeah, really good from Caldente. Williamson will also, is slowly getting back to her feet. Not quite sure what happened here. So Williamson won it off Caicedo. And then, she got caught in the face. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, just caught her in the face as she's going down there, Caicedo. Arsenal would have got the free kick out of it, though. Not sure how. It's accidental. 10 minutes played then. In this second half, Arsenal have done the hard part now. They only need one more goal to put themselves ahead in this tie. Williamson with the free kick. Will she look to play it short? No, she could try and go. Nope, she will go short now. Back to Van Domselaar. He goes back to Leah Williamson. Up the line, looking for Kelly. One in the air by Lacroix. Will fall to Fox. Fox looking for Kelly. It's overhit though. Someone says adrenaline is a weapon. Yeah, exactly. The momentum that Arsenal took from that first goal, that roar from the Emirates, they used that and they went and got another one. Really good stuff from the Gunners. But now, Real Madrid have done well. Last couple of minutes, they've just settled down a little bit. Got themselves back into the game. And that's exactly what they need to do. Just calm it. Just weather the storm. Carmona with the throw for Real Madrid. Boxing their own corner here. Real Madrid are just, I was about to say try and play out of it, but no, they just put their foot through it. Give it straight back to Arsenal. Freedom Marnham goes to Kelly. Williamson. Here is Little. Catley goes back to Van Domselaar. Arsenal just getting themselves on the ball. They have time now. The time is with them. They have 35 minutes to find that third goal. Ball over the top looking for Russo. Will run through though to Misa Rodriguez. Really good stuff from the Real Madrid goalkeeper. And now Madrid will look to come the other way. We're Carmona. Let's go back to Caicedo. It's a poor pass though. And Arsenal will have the throw. Fox. Caldente. Across to Catley. McCabe. Catley. Arsenal just building. Again, they don't need to rush it. They don't need to go and risk Real Madrid hitting them on the break. They've got plenty of time. Ball long down the line into Emily Fox. Fox up against Carmona. Goes to Kelly. Caldente. Back in to Chloe Kelly. Fox. Good move from Arsenal down the right-hand side. One back by Real Madrid, but Kelly will get there. Free kick, though. Apparently that's a foul from Mendes. Well, Weir, wasn't happy. Toletti was the one who brought her down. Mendes was the one who went screaming after it. Arsenal to take it quickly. Referee wasn't happy with that. And instead wants to make it ceremonial. Which, fair enough, it's in a good area. Real Madrid going to have to deal with another dangerous ball into the box here. As Dennis says, Chloe Kelly, what performance? Yeah, really solid performance from Kelly. Been absolutely brilliant tonight. Katie McCabe over the free kick then for Arsenal as they hunt their third goal and to complete the turnaround. McCabe over it. McCabe. Ball in. It's a good one towards Catley. Russo will flick in and it's there. Arsenal have completed the comeback. Brilliant, brilliant second half from the Gunners. And within 13 minutes, they've gone from 2-0 down to 3-2 up on aggregate. Alessia Russo with her second of the night. And Arsenal lead by 3-0. They came here with a tough job to do at the Emirates tonight. But they have completed with it with plenty of time on the clock. A slow first half has been redeemed by a brilliant, brilliant second half. And they have blown Real Madrid away in the last 15 minutes or so. Brilliant from Arsenal. Another dangerous ball input in by McCabe. Catley heads it down. Russo volleys it past Misa Rodriguez. And Real Madrid have absolutely collapsed. But Arsenal are flying. Absolutely flying. And they are 30 minutes away from the Champions League semi-finals. And we saw Lyon score 3 inside 15 minutes to beat Bayern. And we've seen Arsenal score 3 inside 15 minutes to put themselves in a winning position against Real Madrid. And people, you questioned Russo at half-time. 2 goals to the good now. Caldente coming forwards again. Arsenal looking to seal the deal. But people were questioning Alessia Russo. But with 2 goals in this second half, Chloe Kelly with 2 assists. Brilliance from the Arsenal front line. Caldente joining in there as well. Here comes Ford now as Arsenal look to put this tie to bed. McCabe charging down the left-hand side. Mariona Caldente. Caldente. Here is Little. Good stuff from Kim Little. Really good drive. Puts it across the box. Blocked by Garcia. What a comeback from Arsenal. What a turnaround. From 2-0 down on aggregate. Came in tonight. 2-0 down. 45 minutes, no goals. Pressure was on. Massive pressure was on to turn this tie around. And within 15 minutes of the second 45, they have switched it on its head. And they currently lead 3-2 on aggregate. 3-0 on the night. What a job so far. Still not done, but with the momentum on their side, you'd expect them to come through and seal the deal now. McCabe, ball in. Unmarked is Little, heads it onto goal, but it's flicked past the post. Arsenal with a big opportunity to make it 4-0. Wow. And Tennis is going to penalties. Well, it's going to take a response from Real Madrid for that to happen. But what a turnaround. Credit to Arsenal. Credit to Rene Slagers. Because they have turned up in the second half and completely just turned over this Real Madrid side. Catley. To Williamson. Arsenal, 1 goal now, would put this tie to bed. Good football again. Kelly with the ball in. Too close to the goalkeeper this time. Garcia. Caicedo. Into Angledal. Across to Garcia. Linda Caicedo tries to put it through the legs of McCabe. McCabe thinks she was fouled. Apparently not. Did look like a foul, to be fair. Carmona coming down the left-hand side for Real Madrid. Athena. Real are not done yet in this tie. Athena up against Fox. Ball in. Too close to Van Domstar. Way too close to her, actually. And it hits the roof of the net. And that's the thing. Arsenal just got to be careful. The Real Madrid don't hit them on the counter. But the momentum and the belief is all with the Gunners now. And Alberto Toril looks like one very frustrated man on the touchline. And I'm not surprised. His side had one objective tonight, to defend and to hold on and to protect their lead. And they did that very well in the first half. They defended really well. Second half, they have just crumbled. And Arsenal have taken full advantage, and it's been brilliant in attacking areas from Arsenal that has caused massive problems for Real Madrid. Ball down the line once again. Foot race between Lacroix and Russo. Lacroix will win this one. Ball goes back to Rodriguez. Looking to find Carmona, but picks out Chloe Kelly instead. Here is Fox. Little to Williamson. Here is Mariona Caldente. Caldente to Fox. Fox to Little. Arsenal building really well here. Little. Williamson. They're just going to control. They'll just control this tie now. Keep the ball. Don't let Real Madrid in. Don't let them have a sniff. If they can get a fourth, then that's happy days. But right now, it is just about controlling what they've got. Holding on to what they've got. One ball, one back by Real Madrid. Carmona forced to go back towards her own goalkeeper. Ball across to Lacroix. Back to Rodriguez. Goes long. Bruin is pulled down there by Steph Catley. But the flag has gone up, so Catley will get away with it. Bit fortunate there, Steph Catley. Definitely dragged Signe Bruin to the ground. Then let's just go for a fourth goal and kill this game. I think they'd like to, but they have got to be careful that they don't end up throwing it away or conceding. That's the risk that they would take. But Alessia Russo, continuing her fine form this season, has been brilliant. She's on double digits in the UWCL, has 6 goals in 8 games in the Champions League. What a season for Russo. Ball in from Kelly, picked out by Angeldal. Athena, back to Angeldal. Bruna loses it to Little. Arsenal back on the ball. Catley, across to Williamson. Ball to Little. Little to Catley. Catley to Williamson. Little. Angeldal. Tries to put in a tackle. Little skips past her. Kelly. Fox. Kelly. Arsenal doing really well. Just controlling it now. That's exactly what they can do. One of Arsenal's best traits is just passing around the penalty area and passing around the opposition's half. And that's all they've got to do now. Ball played through. Lovely little dummy. Here's Chloe Kelly. Kelly against Carmona. Shot blocked out for a corner. Someone says, who cares if I'm supposed to be revising this way better? Yeah, you can't revise on Champions League quarter-final nights. So tonight and tomorrow night, I wouldn't bother doing anything. Rao just wanted to stream, says, Leslie hat-trick will be something special, safe on morale. Yeah, Russo's playing at the top of her game right now. And a she'll be looking for that hat-trick. She's been absolutely brilliant tonight again. Another solid performance. Very exciting from an England point of view. Because if Russo takes that form into the Euros, she's going to be one hell of a striker to handle. The type of form she's in is a type of form that can lead England to glory. McCabe corner then. Arsenal looking for a fourth and to kill this game off. McCabe with the ball in. Looking for Catley just wide. Another good opportunity. It was Catley and Russo both at the back post. And neither of them could turn it in. Ball from McCabe, who actually made the contact. Catley shoulder, I think. Just wide. Another good chance for Arsenal though. 24 to play at the Emirates. Arsenal leading on the night by 3-0, leading on aggregate by 3-2. Real Madrid need 1 goal to send this to extra time. But right now it is all Arsenal. All Arsenal. They've got all the momentum and they're playing brilliantly. And Real Madrid, I mean, unless it's something against the run of play, I don't see the way they get back in this game. But never say never in football. Stranger things have happened. All it is 1 goal. And I think that Arsenal will know that. Throw from McCabe. Russo holds it up. Caicedo wins it back though. Toletti. Garcia. Fired up the pitch. by Mendes. Angledal will pounce on it. Angledal versus Little. Little did lose it, but Arsenal will keep the ball. Will we pull back, though, for the free kick? No, it won't. Ref was going to put it back, decided not to. Here comes Mariona Calrente. Fires it down the channel to Kelly. Was she brought down? Don't think so. Good defending that from Carmona. Athenia goes down the line. Will be the one to get there. Williamson over, big tackle. Cuts that out. Here is Mariona Calrente. Williamson. Calrente. Really good. Arsenal just knocking it back, just dictating that tempo. As Nick Nat says, Arsenal looks so in control right now. Yeah, spot on. They are loving this game. They are in charge. They are so relaxed. It is so... Right now for Arsenal, it is coming very easy to them. Just got to be careful that Real Madrid don't spring a surprise, but that I don't see it happening. I think that Arsenal have very much burst the Madrid bubble, and that momentum and that mentality from Madrid has disappeared slightly. Still 20 minutes to play. But so far, a brilliant night at the Emirates for Arsenal. Give and go between Kelly and Fox. Calrente running in, plays it through, looking for Russo, swing and a miss. Hunting down that hat-trick, Alessia Russo. Ball rolled out as Madrid look to go, but they've been dispossessed and Kelly wins it back. Marnham, Russo. Fox looks to swing it in. Dummies against it. Lord Lawrence the screen says, well, and Arsenal just waking up. Oh, what a moment to wake up to. Miss all the action. Little. Goes back to Williamson. Williamson to Kelly. Kelly does well to cut inside. Calrente. Lacroix puts in a big tackle, but Calrente keeps going. Marnham looking for Russo, and it's there. Russo has the hat-trick. Arsenal have 4, and they are cruising into the semi-finals. What a night for Alessia Russo. What a night for Arsenal. They had all the work to do in the second half, but they have accomplished it and more. Brilliance from Arsenal. Brilliance from Russo. Arsenal 4, Real Madrid 0. What a night for Alessia Russo. 7 goals in 8 Champions League games for Arsenal striker. 3 of them coming tonight. 3 of them firing Arsenal through to the last 4. Again, brilliant. Was it another Chloe Kelly assist? Potentially so. Was it Marnie played the ball through? Oh, it's going to be tight with the offside potentially. But a really good finish from Russo. That is a poacher's finish. Really good stuff. And Arsenal have practically wrapped up this game. But then have a look. VAR will have a look at that. It was tight between Russo and Mendes. They're having a look. And it has been disallowed. It's not going to stand. Russo will not get a hat-trick. And the 4th will not count. Didn't actually see any replays of that because we were too busy watching the goal back. Yeah. No goal. Goal will not stand. Oh, but are they having another look at it? No, they're making subs, I was going to say. Yeah. No goal. It remains at 3. Russo doesn't get a hat-trick. Which is a shame because she's deserved a hat-trick. Changes coming then for Arsenal. Frida Marnham to be replaced by Leah Valti. So that will see Carol Dente go into attacking midfield. And Beth Mead is going to come on. And she will replace Chloe Kelly. What a night for Chloe Kelly. A brilliant, brilliant performance from Arsenal's right winger. 2 assists for Chloe Kelly to be replaced by Beth Mead. But yeah, big night for Kelly. Best performance I've seen from Chloe Kelly in a long time. That's really good to see her getting back to her best. But wow. No goal then. Still remains at 1. And that's important because it still means that Real Madrid have a chance. Triple change then for Madrid. Not happening yet though. We're playing on. Never mind. We'll think about that in a minute. Long ball from Mendes. Brune, big tackle on McCabe, gets that all wrong, and that will be a free kick. Yeah, not a great tackle on McCabe. We'll have a look here then. Let's see if it was offside. I see. It was Marnham in the build-up. Russo. It wasn't Russo. It was Marnham. That makes more sense. Yeah, so Russo was onside, but Marnham was. And yes, that is why you use semi-automated offsides, because it is that quick. That works like that. There's no controversy with it whatsoever. Exactly. That decision's done in seconds. But yeah, it was tight though. It was still tight on Marnham, but that's why the semi-automated offside. We haven't got have some muppet drawing lines with crosshairs. You just press the button and it does it. Arsenal take the free kick quickly. McCabe out to Mead. Mead to Vouty. Williamson. Lovely switch of the play to pick out Beth Mead. Mead across to Russo. Was she pushed? You'll have a question as to why. Flags up anyway. Offside. Ruined all the fun there. Big decision. Doesn't matter. Yes, there's no controversy other than the fact that no real life linesman could ever call that as offside. True. But that's part of it, I suppose. Triple change then for Real Madrid. We are going to see Yasmin, Redondo and Fella all come on for Madrid. Triple change now as they look to change the game, as they look to make a difference. One of the boards isn't working. This is brilliant. Absolutely incredible. Let's have a look at this one. This one is working. That's good. So Signa Bruna is going to come off and it is going to be Fella. So this is absolutely mess because I think they're putting up the wrong numbers and they're getting all the board wrong. Right. So we have Yasmin on for Olga Carmona. We have Angeldal coming off for Redondo. And we have Signa Bruna coming off for Fella. There we go. We've got there. Well, 15 minutes to play at the Emirates. Arsenal 3, Real Madrid 0. They are comfortable in this game. They are in control. But it's still not done yet. Real Madrid just need 1. And so to Katie United, I think at this rate Arsenal will sign her on is the thing. But if Arsenal don't pick her up when her contract runs out, then United should definitely be in that conversation. But yeah, I think Arsenal will probably pick her up after her contract. Not only is she's been in decent form to be fair, but I think that from the publicity and the PR point of view, that is an absolute dream for Arsenal. Nick says could get nervy in the final stages potentially. I definitely think this isn't game over yet, and Real with that triple change, they're going to throw numbers at it now. They've got nothing to lose. Lawrence has come back Real Madrid, potentially. Everyone says, how's Athenia playing? Hasn't really got involved, to be honest. Real Madrid haven't been as threatening on the counter-attack as I expected them to be. I thought they'd look much dangerous when they got the ball forwards, but they have really struggled in the second half to really cause any problems. In the first half, they had some good opportunities. But, I just don't think in the second half they've done enough. Sana says, do you think Kelly will replace Beth in the long run? I think Kelly is better right now. And I think that, again, maybe I've got to be careful it isn't recency bias just because of the way that Kelly played tonight. But I think Chloe Kelly on her day is a brilliant, brilliant footballer. And that is something we need to remember. And hopefully we can see that. But so is Beth Mead. So, it's hard to judge. Handball there by Mendes. That will be an Arsenal free kick on the edge. Lloyd says, how are you doing? Great job, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And Tony says, of course Arsenal will do that. Yeah. It makes complete sense for them. Referee wants to have a chat here with, I don't really know, with Beth Mead and Garcia. No idea why. Nothing to do with the actual incident. There's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Nothing to do with Beth Mead, though. Beth Mead was involved a little bit. I don't know what's going on here. Bit of just pushing and shoving. Tension's rising, isn't it? Like, yeah. It's all starting to kick off now in the last 12 minutes. Well, Mead with a free kick here. Arsenal players piling in at the far post, looking to put this tie to bed. Mead, ball in, not a bad one, headed away well though, and out for a corner. Mendes heads it away. She's not pleased, but she was the one who headed it away. So I'm not really sure how she doesn't think that's a corner, but never mind. McCabe to put the ball in now from the other side. Again, a fourth goal for Arsenal is pretty key because, as we keep saying, at 3-2, Real Madrid have still got a chance. At 4-2, Arsenal are probably through. Ball in on top of the keeper, falls straight to the arms of Misa Rodriguez, who will kick it long, and Real Madrid will look to counter. That's a really poor kick there, and she's kicked it straight to Kim Little. So that ruined all that excitement. Here is Catley. Catley to Caldente. Caldente to Valti. Valti goes one more to Mead. Good move. Mead to Russo. Looking for the hat-trick. Has a shot. Big block from Mendes. Arsenal with another corner. We're pushing, I think, Arsenal now onto 11 corners, potentially. SP says, first time here, you do a cracking job. Turned off TV commentary, listening to you, Colin, you gunners. Thank you, SP. Appreciate that massively. Usually there is 2 of us, and that goes to anyone who is tuning in, but just myself tonight. But and again, if you are tuning in for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Closing on the last 10 minutes, but a lot of stuff coming your way this year. Ball in from Mead. Russo heads towards goal, just wide. Russo inches away from that hat-trick. She deserves a hat-trick tonight. The way she's played has been phenomenal. And this is what I mean. Alessia Russo on her day is absolutely unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. But yeah. Just wide of the post. 12 shots to 1 tonight. Real Madrid have just not caused enough problems. Not caused enough problems for Arsenal tonight. It's a poor pass from Mendes. Russo's is in. Russo for the hat-trick. Saved by Misa Rodriguez. And she probably should have squared that to Beth Mead. But when you're a number 9 on a hat-trick, you're never going to pass up that opportunity. Big save from Misa Rodriguez, though. Keeps Real Madrid within 1. But Russo, another massive opportunity for the hat-trick. Arsenal all over Real Madrid this second half. McKay bursting down the left-hand side. Ball in, looking for Russo, but it will Beth Mead. Puts it back across goal. Will fall to Ford. Ford loses it to Toletti. Is tripped up. Arsenal free kick. I'm surprised we haven't seen a yellow card in this second half. There's so many free kicks given, especially against Real Madrid. But yeah, Raha saying, sure it was the hat-trick. Massive opportunity. Massive opportunity for Russo there. Free kick now though for Arsenal, just outside the area. But yeah, Russo, she fancies a hat-trick. She's been brilliant tonight. 22,517 in attendance at the Emirates tonight. Can be a difference sometimes. Well, Mead over it. McCabe also in the conversation. The Music 7 says, love the intensity, even being already up. Yeah, and it's relentless from Arsenal because they know that this tie isn't completely over yet. That they do need to. That they want to kill this game off. Mead and McCabe over the free kick. Mead has a go. It's not bad, just over the bar. Not bad from Beth Mead at all, though. Lord Lloyd made a good point. Russo has to be up front, not behind Blackstone. If Frida stays, then Steg has to work this out. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, in the first leg, Russo played as the number 10 in that attack midfield role and didn't touch the ball. Tonight, you put her up front in her position, she scores a double. I don't understand why Steg has tried numerous times this season to put Russo deeper. It just does not work. You have to put Russo up front. It's as simple as that. She is one of the best strikers in Europe right now. She's in incredible form. Just got to stop dropping her deeper. Put her up front, stick her up front, leave her up front. Lord Dodd says 3:30 viewing, give the man some upvotes, Peter. Thank you, Lord Dodd. Yes, we are on 92 likes so far. So if you haven't liked the stream already, make sure to hit that like button. It'll, let people know that you're enjoying it. Let me know that you're enjoying it. And it'll be massively appreciated. And while you're there, there's a big button called subscribe right next to it, to make sure to hit that one as well to tune in for more content. Unfortunately, we're not live for any of the Champions League games tomorrow because we are going to the Chelsea-Man City game. But we've got a video going out in the morning that will preview the ties. We've got a video on Friday where we will review all of the games, including this one tonight. So if you want to hear more conclusive and well put together thoughts on tonight's performance from Arsenal, then make sure to watch that video on Friday. But yeah, lots of games. We've got 2 or 3 this weekend. All the domestic seasons are coming to a close now. It's getting very, very exciting. But yeah, let's. I appreciate the support, guys. Thank you very much. Start hitting that like button. Foot chase between McCabe and Fella. That is won by McCabe. Not McCabe, sorry, Ford, because McCabe was off injured. Holly Grant says, thanks for the stream. Always like hearing what you guys have to say. Thank you, Holly. Much appreciated. And thank you, Summer, as well. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Hopefully will. Should be a good one. Chelsea in a similar situation to Arsenal, needing to win by at least 2 goals to go through. Yeah, and look at that. Just like magic, got up to 104 likes. It's incredible. Ask and you shall receive. Russo chasing down Mendes. Lacroix will clear it. 5 minutes to go. Is there a chance? Is there a slim chance that Real Madrid can send this game to extra time? McKay with the throw up. Russo knocks it past Mendes. They'll tussle with each other. Mendes does well, though, to beat her there and knock it back to her goalkeeper. Misa Rodriguez to Mendes. I mean, a goal now from Real Madrid would stun the Emirates silent. They have not pushed forwards very often. They've had 1 shot in the entire game so far, but you cannot count them out. Here is Linda Caicedo. Goes to Fella. Fella flicks it around the corner. Will she get there? Not quite. Runs out of play. Thinks it should be a corner. Won't be. But that's what Arsenal got to be careful of. Is Real Madrid can turn on the heat just like that. Gretchen says, thank you, can't watch, but it's always like to see the action. I appreciate that. I try and paint and create the most vivid picture I possibly can. So everyone listening knows what is exactly happening with every minute of the game. I should do all the extra details as well, like, Renee Slager's just taken off her gloves. Don't know why she's done that, it's pretty cold. Let's see if it's 12 degrees actually, it's quite warm in the UK. Tilletti holding on to Calente there. Arsenal free kick and another opportunity to slow the game down. Well flicked on by Fox. Mead looks to find Russo. Rushed it a little bit though. Just need to take our time with that cross. Lucky says Brown. Bro, wow. What a remontada we are so far time of a lifetime. As it stands, yes. Arsenal will go through to play Lyon. And that'll be a cracker. A Lyon side who are absolutely flying at the moment versus an Arsenal side who are playing quite well at the moment. And here comes Caitlin Ford. Ford for 4. Cuts it out. Russo blocked. Alessia Russo just can't quite get the hat-trick. She has huffed and puffed this evening. Has got 2 of the goals. Put one in the back of the net but was ruled out for offside. And has had so many chances. Just won't come. But either way, a double in a Champions League quarter-final when your team are 2-0 down is exactly the kind of player that Russo is. She delivers when it matters most for Arsenal. Little, ball in, looking for Mead at the back post, heads it up. Fox will recycle it. I thought we could see a 30-yard screamer from Emily Fox like we did in the North London derby? The North London derby. Freddie, thanks, buddy. Absolutely welcome, Freddie. Here's Russo before Russo gets the goal, but the flag is up again. Russo just can't find it. She can't believe it. She didn't see the offside flag. Russo has the ball in the back of the net again, but the flag is up. Alessia Russo just cannot get that elusive third goal tonight. Was she offside? No. Oh, it's going to be tight. I think this one might stand. I think this one for Russo might stand. Do not get too excited, Arsenal fans. But I think the fourth goal is going to stand. No, it's not. It was offside. I'm sorry. I got you all excited for no reason. Apologies, guys. Whoops. But yeah, Russo just can't get that hat-trick. She's had the ball in the back net twice since she scored a hat-trick. And the flag's gone up. And she had so many chances. She had a through-on goal, Misa Rodriguez, and it was saved by the Real Madrid goalkeeper. All it means is that Arsenal still aren't out of sight, though. Mead looking for Russo, just past her. Minute to play plus additional time. Arsenal only leading by a goal on aggregate, but they have had all the pressure. We are going to see now that offside come. Oh no, we're not going to see that offside come up. Boring. Yeah, 1,000 votes, by the way, in the poll in the chat. Thank you so much for the support tonight. Absolutely brilliant to see. Change for Arsenal coming now. Kim Little is to be replaced by, I think it's Amanda Elished coming on now. Just to, you feel, sorry, Steve Blacksenius. Don't know why I thought that was Elished. But Blacksenius coming on for Little. It's a bizarre change when you're, only a goal up on aggregate. Yeah, and we are going to see an additional 6 minutes. 6 minutes of additional time. Real Madrid have 6 minutes to find a goal if they are to stay in the Champions League. Arsenal are 6 minutes away from Champions League semi-finals. What an achievement that would be. Went into tonight 2-0 down, have turned it around so far. Just need to hold on. Nick now says Russo could have 5 or 6 quite easy tonight. Absolutely spot on. Russo could have so many. Speaking of so many, 407 of you tuning in tonight. Absolutely brilliant to see. Thank you so much for the support. Here comes Russo again. Coming down the right-hand side. Russo cuts it back over forward. Keeps it alive. Blocked again. And Tedeschi will get it clear. But yeah, make sure if you are tuning in for the first time tonight, please do hit that subscribe button. Would mean a lot. Recently hit 3k. Just want to keep growing. And keep bringing content just like tonight. So all of you guys can enjoy it. Garcia around the corner looking for Caicedo. Caicedo will get there ahead of Catley. Caicedo now jostling with McCabe. Throw in for Real Madrid. This would be something. This would be something. If Real Madrid found a goal, but Arsenal will get it clear, and now they come forwards once again. As Phil says, just run it to the corners. Yeah, if you're Arsenal, you take it that far corner and you sit on that football. Mead leading the charge for Arsenal. Fox. Problem is, Fox wants to take it to the corner. Russo still wants a hat-trick. Arsenal will knock the ball back now and just conserve. Dennis has managed the game now. Yeah, spot on. Fox. Back to Mead. Arsenal just keeping the ball, taking care of it, not playing any audacious passes, not risking giving it away. Caldente, another instrumental performance tonight from Mariona Caldente in an Arsenal shirt, doing all the things right. Weir's won it back. Real Madrid look to come forward. Athena through the legs of Valti, and that is a ball through to Linda Caicedo in a foot race with Leah Williamson. Caicedo up against Williamson. Caicedo has a go. Big save by Van Domselaar. Van Domselaar keeps Arsenal ahead. Athena from range blocked. Falls to Weir. Shot blocked. Out for a corner. Real Madrid are coming on strong at the end. But Daphne Van Domselaar with another huge save to keep the Gunners ahead. Brilliant counter-attack from Real Madrid. Ball through to Caicedo, who was onside. Did really well. Beats Williamson, chops back on her. Has a go from range. Not from range, sorry. Has a go. Cutting in. And Daphne Van Domselaar with a big save. Another big save in this match. Real Madrid have not come forward very often, but when they have, they've forced some big save out of Van Domselaar. The queue at the back post is hilarious. First corner of the game for Real. Ball in. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. It's palmed away by Van Domselaar. Out for another corner. Real Madrid are putting Arsenal under all kinds of pressure in the latter stages. Huge hand from Van Domselaar because this was heading towards the head of Lacra. Wow. Ball in again, off the line from Blackstenius, and now Arsenal look to counter themselves. Caldente on the charge. Prevented by Caicedo. Smashed up the pitch by Russo. Shea Garcia has won it back, but a poor pass is pounced on by Ford. And Ford's now in. It's a 2-on. Misa Rodriguez has come, got nowhere near it. Ford has an open goal to aim at, and she's put it wide. That is comically really poor from Caitlin Ford. And she will laugh it off. But if Real Madrid do score next 2 minutes, it's going to be very frustrating. Yeah, Misa Rodriguez came for it, got nowhere near it. Real Madrid coming on strong at the end, though. Long ball, cut out by Valti. Free kick, though, given against Arsenal. And Real Madrid will try to move it quickly. Referee wasn't happy. Madrid being forced to take it back to where the free kick was. Misa Rodriguez now will come and take it. Minute and a half to play now. Ball fired long from Misa Rodriguez. Headed away by Caldente, only as far as Shea Garcia. Doesn't know what to do with it. Real trying to keep it alive. Out of play by Caldente for a Real Madrid throw. Minute to play at the Emirates. And Real Madrid, for all of Arsenal's pressure in the second half, Madrid are the ones coming on strong at the end. Toletti, poor pass, pounced on by Russo. Russo looks to run away. Caldente, Blackstenius in behind versus Lacra. And Blackstenius does really just to hold it up, just to run that clock down. Forced backwards though. It runs back towards our own goal. McCabe dinks it up over the top. Caldente versus Garcia. Caldente will get there. Caldente for 4. Big tackle from Garcia. And now Real Madrid have got to go. 30 seconds to go. Running out of time. Ball goes long. Catley wins it. Mead flicks it on. Blackstenius again will just drive it forwards for Arsenal. Really good stuff from Blackstenius. Caitlin Ford will just take this to the corner. Spins round Mendes. Cuts inside Ford. Claimed by Misa Rodriguez. You think that's got to be it? Surely. That is time at the Emirates. And there is the full-time whistle. A brilliant second half comeback from Arsenal. Sees them go from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. And after a Russo double and a Caldente header, Arsenal are through to the Champions League semi-finals. After a disappointing defeat in Madrid a week ago, they came to the Emirates with all the work to do. And they've completed the comeback 2-0 down to 3-2 up. What a moment for Arsenal. What a win for the Gunners. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant stuff. Credit to René Slagers and Arsenal for a brilliant performance. That second half was absolutely brilliant. 3 goals in 15 minutes is enough to see Arsenal progress to the last 4. They will face Lyon in the Champions League semi-finals for a place in the final. A lot of work to do, but over 180 minutes, maybe they can do it, but they will not care right now about who they play tomorrow, who they play in a few weeks' time. Tonight is a big night for Arsenal. Arsenal 3-0 on the night. They win 3-2 on aggregate, and they are through. For Real Madrid, they would have felt they're in a really good position at 2-0 up on aggregate. They held firm in the first half, but they were taken to the cleaners in the second 45. A disappointing collapse for Real Madrid, but Arsenal will not care. The Gunners are through. Brilliant support in the live chat. Really, really good stuff. Well done. Congratulations to Arsenal. Very, very well done. And yeah, as Nina says, fully deserved. Brilliant performance from Arsenal. That second half transformed the game. They fully deserved that win. Well done to Arsenal. They are through to the last four. Tomorrow we will confirm the second semi-final. We won't be here. We'll be at Stamford Bridge. So make sure to look out on socials for any content coming your way from Stamford Bridge. But congratulations to Arsenal. Thank you so much for the support on today's stream. Absolutely brilliant. My final plea, if you are tuning in for the first time and you haven't subscribed, please do. Would be absolutely crucial. We are building, we are growing on this channel. There's not just one of me. There is another person. Jack will be here usually as well. Again, we've just hit 3K, so let's keep growing. Let's keep pushing. Gain as many as possible. We've got a big Euros this summer. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Loads of comments coming in. Credit to Arsenal. Russo, brilliant. Calorente, brilliant. Thank you to everyone. I appreciate it. All the support coming in at the end here. Over 1,000 votes in the polling chat. Absolutely brilliant stuff. A crazy, crazy night of action. We've had two brilliant games. Thank you for the subscription from Shayla Library Television. Appreciate it massively. Everyone do what they've just done and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Brilliant stuff. What a night of Champions League action. We have a semi-final. Olympique Lyonnais, the 8-time winners, will face Arsenal in the semi-finals. And tomorrow night we have two more quarter-finals. Will it be Barcelona or Wolfsburg? Will it be Chelsea or Manchester City who join those two sides in the last four? That is everything from me today, though. We have a video going out in the morning where we preview both the quarterfinals for tomorrow. We'll have a video out on Friday which will be talking and reviewing all of the quarterfinals. So if you're an Arsenal fan, hit that subscribe button and tune into that video on Friday where we'll be reviewing this game that I've just watched, and it will be more concise and proper thoughts. Shayla Library Television, thank you for the donation at the end there. Absolutely phenomenal. This is brilliant. This is crazy. Brilliant support. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is absolutely incredible. Thank you, Sam, for being here throughout the night. Thank you to everyone who's been here for both streams or whether you've been here for one stream. Absolutely brilliant. Two brilliant games. But yeah, videos coming out throughout the week. We're back with live streams on Sunday for the UWCL action as Chelsea take on West Ham and Manchester United take on Everton. But that is all from tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been absolutely brilliant. I appreciate it. Whether it's 3:30 a.m. in India or whether it's 10 o'clock in England. Thank you all for tuning in. Brilliant support. Absolutely incredible stuff tonight. The donations, the subscribers, the likes, everything. Really good to keep me company. But yes, Russo, another shout from someone for Russo. What a performance from Alessia Russo. But yeah, that is everything from me tonight. It's been a brilliant 5 hours action. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.